Just when you thought it was safe to go back into the blind army vet's house again. Okay, it doesn't quite have the same ring as go back into the ocean. Hey everyone, it's me, Aaron.
And I'm Michelle.
And this is our post-Shriek Out reaction, part of the 31 Days of Thorgiween, where we review a brand new horror film every single day. When I say brand new, I don't mean it's an actual new horror film, I mean it's just new to us.
Yeah, it's like a movie we haven't reviewed before.
Yes, there you go. And this is a movie that came out 3 years ago, and a lot of people asked me to go and see this, and they've actually asked me every Thorgiween since then to talk about this. I have wanted to talk about this, I just haven't gotten a chance. So now we finally get a chance to talk about Don't Breathe. I really enjoyed this film.
Me too.
And it's a slasher film, and I don't normally enjoy slasher films, but this film, like, it just took care of so many of my problems with slasher films. Just going down that checklist, just like, oh, here's what you have a problem with? Okay, well, that's resolved right now. That's resolved. And what's amazing is that it shouldn't have fixed all my problems with slasher films, because, like, one of my problems with slasher films is that they always make the characters you follow just complete assholes who you don't like. This film follows criminals. Like, people who go around breaking into people's houses. Like, just
stealing their
stuff. And another problem I have is that I always look at the slashers just like, yeah, man, just run away. Like, it's just a guy with a knife. This is a blind guy. So it's like, well, seems like it would be easier to run away from a blind guy than from, you know, somebody who can see. But no, they, like, come up with a very good explanation for why they cannot run away from this guy.
And they actually come up with a good reason why they rob houses too. It's like, they live in a shitty neighborhood. They live in Detroit, all right?
I had to stop and go, was this made by the It Follows guy? And like his whole thing is that he's gonna do for Detroit what Stephen King did for Maine. Just like set everything there. Because there are moments in here where they're shooting scenes, and I looked at that and went, I think that's literally like a location that they filmed in for It Follows. Like the big moment where they're sitting in just this abandoned cafeteria. I remember looking at that and just going, I think that's literally the cafeteria that they filmed It Follows in. Like that scene where they're just spinning the camera around the entire time, which is an amazing shot. Yeah, I looked at that, and a lot of the locations that they filmed in, like a lot of the neighborhoods that they went to, I just kept thinking to myself, I think this is the It Follows guy. No, it is not the It Follows guy. It's just if you're gonna film a horror movie in Detroit, it's gonna look like this. So what this film is about is that it follows 3 characters, which is still kind of shocking that it's such a small cast in here. But it follows 3 characters who break into houses, one of whom is like the gang leader, and he is a complete and total asshole.
Yeah.
But then the main one who we're following is this girl who she just has to get away. Her family life.
Her family is shit, and
she's got a young sister.
Yeah, she wants a better life for her sister.
Yeah,
like,
so she's no, sorry.
She wants to go to California because her sister wants to be a surfer and grow up like near like the beach and everything.
Yeah, her sister loves the beach, and her family is just awful. So she's just looking for a way to get out of here.
Yeah.
And the other person in there, he's kind of, in a weird way, he's the brains of the operation because his dad runs the security company, so he's got access to everybody's everybody's house who uses the security system. But he doesn't want to do this. Like out of all of them, he's the one who does not want to do this most. But he's doing it for the girl.
Yeah.
He's looking at this girl like, no, okay, maybe if we just steal like from one more house, then she'll give it up and it'll be fine. Then we'll be okay. But they have found this house and they got one last score. It's this house where this person, they've got like $300,000 in there. I think it's even more than that.
Maybe.
But he has got hundreds of thousands of dollars, might even be millions of dollars in there. And he's this old blind guy. So like, okay, not only is he loaded, it's gonna be easy to just sneak in there and steal from this guy.
But then like, what was his name? Alex, like the brains of the outfit is like, he starts to feel bad. It's like, we're robbing a blind guy. That doesn't seem right.
His conscience finally stepped up in that moment. Like, we're taking from the people who they can, we're taking from rich people who can probably afford like.
And he's a war veteran. He's been through so much.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah, this guy's been through so much. And also like, they do know the reason why he has this money is because it was a settlement that he got from this family whose daughter ended up killing his daughter. Like
yeah, like her.
She hit him with. She hit his daughter with her car. Yes, exactly. Sorry, I am very much mouthed right now. I'll fix that in a moment. So yeah, this guy, he's been through a lot, and he doesn't want to go through this. But the girl, she's got to get out. She's got to get out of this town. So he decides, fine, this is it, the last one that we're doing. So they break in there, they check it out, and even then, this guy is just like, I can't do this, I'm sorry, I'm out. So he kind of leaves early on, but then the blind man, which he's just known as the blind man in this film, by the way. He's played by Stephen Lang. I've got it up there. See, I was smart. I prepared on this. But he's played by Stephen Lang, who is famous for playing old, crotchety assholes. He comes downstairs, starts asking, who's there? And the guy who's the ringleader of this, the guy who is the one who alerted him by trying to shoot a lock off the door, he steps up and goes, hey, man, it's all right. It's just me. I just wandered in here. I'll go right now. But the blind man is not letting him go. He starts slowly approaching him, and the guy's, all right, fine. If you take another step further, I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to shoot. Man, you come one more step. That's it. Blind man gets in there, just overpowers him. Just because this guy will not shut up so he knows where he is. He overpowers him, grabs him, and just gets the gun up to his head and murders him.
Yeah, blows his brains out. Like.
Yeah, so we're already down to 2 characters now. Which again, that is shocking to me that there were so few characters in this film.
Oh, by the way, the blind man has a dog, a big, snarly, slobbery Rottweiler.
Like the most stereotypical, like it will rip your throat out kind of dog.
Like I understand, like if you're a blind person, you need like a seeing eye dog, but like he
has a seeing attack dog.
Yeah, he does. He really does.
That dog is terrifying in this film. Which there are moments where you can tell like the dog is supposed to be doing something, and the dog is supposed to look like it's going to attack. But it still just got this like big goofy look on his face.
Like
so you can't feel that afraid of it.
No.
But you can understand the terrifying situation that these people are in. So no, Alex, he tried to leave. But he decided, all right, fine, I'm going to come back. And now they're in crisis mode because one of them is already dead. So it's now just down to, what was her name?
Rocky. Alex is the guy.
Yes, Rocky. So now it's down to Rocky and Alex. And this blind man, they shoot him so well in this film. He is shot just in the best creepy reveals I have ever seen. The first time that he appears in this film, I mean, the first time he appears, he's asleep in his bed. But the first time that he like appears when he comes and goes, who's there? The camera just slowly turns around, and he's just standing there like the Slender Man. He is standing there like some urban legend, like he's gonna like just vanish the moment that you blink your eyes. But then, like when Alex is going back there to check on them, the blind man comes walking around the corner, and he's just like walking in a hurry, just walking with his hand on the wall, and Alex just. Like dodging his arm like within inches.
Yes. Like.
Oh man, and you just felt that moment, like, because again, it's not filmed like a creepy reveal. It's not filmed like, yes, now he was here the entire time. It's filmed in this thing that just murdered that guy is running at you, and you know there's no place to hide. You just have to like freeze and just like get yourself
and not make any noise, which is why the movie is called "Don't Breathe," because you can might he be able to hear you breathe.
Okay, like. There is something that we kind of have to address. This dude is Daredevil.
Yeah.
This guy is like one step away from Daredevil levels of in heightened senses. Because there's a moment at this point after he has killed the main guy. I mean the ringleader of the whole team. That guy told him, it's just me in here. I'm the only one in here, that's it. So this guy just assumes that he killed the only person in here. So he is instantly going and getting things ready to bury this guy. He has got like a plan to dispose of bodies. That needs to be brought up. So he doesn't know anyone else is in here. But then while he is getting the supplies to dispose of this body, he turns around, gets down on the ground, and he just examines these sets of shoes.
Yes.
And he sees there are 2 sets of shoes in there. And he smelled it. And that was the moment in which I kind of had to go, okay, this guy, I know
maybe they just had really stinky shoes.
Yeah, maybe. Like,
I know that like when one of your senses goes away, like the others get heightened, but I don't know how much of an extent because I have all my senses.
I did have to question if he could actually do that. There is another moment later on where he does some like Daredevil level of stuff in here. No, okay. It's more like some Daredevil stuff happens to him. But okay, we'll get to that later on.
But like, also, he was an ex-Marine, so he has like,
he's got fighting skills.
He's got fighting skills. He's got knowledge. He's got the strength. Like, he may be old, but I'm guessing he still keeps in shape.
He can kick ass.
Yes.
You look at this guy, and he instantly lets you know like he can kick ass. But also, he's carrying around the gun the entire time. And this is one of the few horror films I've seen where they make the gun a scary thing. Normally in horror films, the gun is the thing that comes in and saves the day at the end from the big killer with the knife. Ooh, yeah. This is one of the few like slasher films where the weapon is a gun. And yes, even in the hands of a blind man, guns are incredibly terrifying. You don't have to aim all that much when you're in a house with tiny little corners. But after he realizes that, yeah, there are other people here, he just starts locking everything up. He starts boarding up the windows. And our heroes, they're trying to find a way to escape. But this guy, it's like he has had this plan from the get-go. He has had this plan this entire time. In case someone breaks in and I gotta kill him, this is how I keep them from getting out. And he just, like a machine, just goes to work.
Well, he kind of has a reason why he's so paranoid, but we'll save that for the spoilers.
Well, it's the post-Shriek out reaction. We kind of more just go along the movie.
I guess so, yeah.
Let me just say, I really enjoy this film. The villain is really great in here. There's a really good reveal halfway through this thing. Only problem I did have, only problem I did have was towards the end of this, they reveal an additional bit of motivation for the villain in here, and it makes you go, I didn't need that, like, at all. And I did have a problem with that. So yeah, we both really enjoyed this film. But halfway through this thing, when they're trying to escape, they're going, okay, well, we can get out through the basement. We can get out through the basement. They go into the basement, and then they discover that down in the basement, the girl who ran over his daughter is chained and gagged in this big padded room. So that is the moment, because yeah, there is something that you have to address in here, which is that yes, our protagonists are criminals. Even if one of them has a motivation behind it, they're a criminal breaking in to rob a blind man who has already had so much taken away from him. Yeah, I can't really be on your side until you learn the blind man is a monster. But even the blind man has like a motivation for it.
Yeah, he's just has really messed up.
His motivation is still just so monstrous that it makes you look at it and go, okay, I can understand going crazy, but you went crazy. So yeah, then there becomes a sequence in which they're trying to escape with the girl who was locked up. But that blind man, he knows this house in and out. Like, even if he does not have his sight, he knows the entire layout of this, and he knows where to look for these people, because they're trying to get out, and they're trying to take his keys, and they're trying to unlock the lock to get out of the cellar. The moment they open that up, he is standing there with the gun. And they end up killing the hostage.
Like, he accidentally shoots her when he was trying to shoot, like, the people who broke in.
Yeah, and when he realizes he has killed her, he just loses it.
Yeah.
He goes off the deep end, and there is a great sequence in here in which he shuts all the lights off in the basement, and they shoot all that in black and white. And you just see them all like, what? And I thought that was great, because there are so many times in horror films where you're supposed to be following someone in the dark, but you can't just film blackness. You can't just film pure darkness. So they shot in black and white, so that way it let the audience know, okay, we can see, but you know they are completely blind at this moment.
It's like, hey, we're on the same level now. We both can't see.
They're not on the same level, because he knows the layout of his basement.
It's like
he knows the layout of his basement, and he knows how to walk around that thing without being able to see anything. They don't know where the exit is. They don't know where each other is, and they know, like, if they make any sound, he'll find them in an instant. But he could be right next to them. And there are those moments where they have those close misses. And man, you are holding your breath in those moments. Like the title. Interesting. My voice is cracking because we filmed like 5 of these things in a row right now. But yeah, you are just on pins and needles throughout that entire segment. And there are those moments where they have to find each other. So they have to call each other out. And like as soon as they call each other out, blam! Just shooting in that direction. It is so good, that entire sequence in there. But this all leads up to, afterwards, them finally making it out of there, and still, they're just trying to get out of this house. And it is amazing how they took just, like, what, a 2-3-story house and turned that thing into a maze? That was a great just layout.
I don't even know if there was, like, a second floor, because we've been seeing it from the first floor and the basement.
There was definitely a second floor.
I guess so.
There definitely was. There definitely was.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's 3 floors if you include the basement in there. That is not much. And yet, they use that space wonderfully in here. This is like running through the Blair Witch House, where everything is just circling back around on itself. But it's not like it's a maze or anything. It's not like he's got traps in there. It's just a house where he's locked all the exits, and they have to find ways out of there. And the dog has been locked up this entire time. As soon as the dog gets introduced to this whole thing, oh my god.
Yeah, like, the dog was drugged up, but then, like, once it, like, got over,
Once that wears out, holy crap. The reveal of the dog is back in the game, that was just, because it's this moment where they escape the basement and then they cram the crowbar underneath the floor, so there's no way they can open it. It's like, all right, great, we can find our way out now, and then they just turn and that dog is reawakened. This is a movie where they know never to let you, like, have a moment of rest. They give you, like, 2 seconds to just go, and then something worse comes back around. This movie has wonderful pacing about that. But now let's get into the part where the thing that I really disliked about this film. The thing that I really disliked is that you get the blind man's motivation for kidnapping the girl who killed his daughter, which I thought it was because the courts let her off. The courts let her off with just a settlement. She didn't have to serve any prison time, so he was like, well, no, you have to pay for your crime. And I don't mean money, I mean, like, you have to suffer for this. So he was going to keep her kidnapped there. No. He says, she took my daughter, she has to give me a new one. And at first, I thought that meant, okay, he's going to keep her locked up until he, like, brainwashes her to think that she's his daughter, something like that. No. He's got a freezer down there loaded with his special sauce and a turkey baster. And that moment almost made me throw up. Because there's a moment after he kidnaps Rocky.
Yeah.
And he goes, all right, listen, she was going to give me a child. I'm not a rapist. I kept her down here until she agreed to that, which is still rape, you idiot.
Yeah.
But he goes, but I'm getting old now. And I'm getting tired. And so he just, like, has her tied up, rips open her pants, and we're about to witness a full-on rape scene in there. And I want no part of this. I was like, you had a great thing here about a guy who kind of went nuts after he lost his daughter, and now he's got these people locked up here, and now she's going to be locked up, and the whole thing about this is, okay, she wanted to escape. She wanted to get out of this town. Now she is locked in this town for the rest of her life to be his new daughter. Oh, no, that's not it. She's going to be locked down here to be raped. And the segment of him, like, walking over there, and, like, you see, like, the goo just falling out. Oh, God. Like, it's a whole sequence that I just did not need.
Like, I understand you not liking it, but at the same time, it's like, it made sense why he had the girl locked up in the first place. Like, it didn't, like, I felt like if it was just, like, a regular scene, like, if it was just him going regular and crazy, not crazy, he would have just, like, murdered.
I like those elements to crazy.
He would have just, like, murdered the lady who killed his daughter, but no, he wants a daughter, and the daughter he had was very young, so...
Yeah, true, okay. That's why the brainwashing idea of, like, no, you're going to be my daughter now, like, that doesn't quite... Yeah, the age difference in there, but... yeah, it's a very uncomfortable scene. I didn't enjoy any part of that.
It's uncomfortable, but, like, also at the same time makes you realize how much of a threat this guy is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's terrifying.
Yes.
I'm not going to say it's not terrifying, but it felt like something that I don't think the movie needed. I think it just, like, went to a level of gross that I didn't really need in here, but I mean, it is terrified. I will give you that. But she's able to escape.
Yeah, like, Alex.
Alex
yeah.
then saves the day.
Yeah, like...
But Alex then dies, like, immediately afterwards, which... This is a film where whenever someone dies, man, you feel it in here. There's not many characters to this cast, but when they die, it has a huge impact. Partly because there are so few members of this cast. But she's now trying to escape. She's still got the money.
Yeah, like, the blind guy thought he killed Alex, but he actually missed, and he stabbed the
The first guy.
The first guy, who's already dead in the first place.
So there is, like, a great reveal of, like, nope, Alex is still alive. Alex was able to save himself by using the body of this other guy right then.
And, like, I actually like how they kind of used his heightened senses to his disadvantage. Like, they would turn on the washing machine, so...
That was good.
They would, like, drown out the noise they're making.
Yes, because there's another thing they do later on that I did not like, but that one was good. That one was good, how they used the washing machine to make it so they couldn't actually hear, like, okay, I'm going to try and escape at this moment. And, like, I thought that was pretty good. But after that, yeah, he kills Alex, and then Rocky gets outside, and the guy is standing on the front door, and like I said, this is a film where they just do a great job of going, all right, you can finally relax. Psych! Because she goes out and goes, you're powerless out here. Well, she doesn't actually say that, but it's like, you can't do anything out here. Because, yeah, he doesn't know the layout of the outside like he knows the layout of inside of his house, and also there's room for her to run away from him. And then the dog just comes running out and just booking it after her. And, man, this is a film where they know when to use that dog, because they know when to make you go, oh, okay, yeah, the dog is gone. Oh, right, the dog. Like, they know exactly when the audience has forgotten about the dog. And the dog comes right out, and it's a pretty good way that she's able to trap the dog inside the car. But in the end of all this, he comes in, grabs her, takes her back into the house, and then she sets off the security alarm, and this is another moment that I hate. Because he sets off the security alarm, and then he's going, ah, ah. His heightened senses are making it so that he is now just being completely, like, knocked out by this. Like, I'm trying to think of the right word to say, but it's basically making him, it's just kryptonite, I guess, if you want to say. It's almost knocking him out because it's overloading him. That's the word.
Sensory overload.
Sensory overload. Thank you. God damn, that was driving me nuts. Yes. But yeah, it's sensory overload. So I looked at that and I just went, why would you have a security system that you yourself can't stand? Like, why wouldn't you, like, there's silent alarms that you could use. Or like an alarm that just makes a silent noise that like or makes a small sound that only goes up to your bedroom or something. That made no sense to me at all. So yeah, I had a problem with that. I got nothing more to add to that.
I figured it'd just be like loud enough for like the neighbors to hear at least.
Maybe, but it's an abandoned town.
Yeah.
Like that's part of the plot is that he's the only one left on this block.
Like maybe he thought he wouldn't have to use the alarm system or
I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah, that is a problem that I have with
whatever. It can be easily overlooked though.
I don't think it can because it's how she survives at the end of this. It's how she gets out of all this, but it doesn't ruin the rest of the film.
No.
That I'll agree with. But yeah, so she's able to get out through that. So I did really enjoy this film. I think that this thing has a great way of building suspense. I know they know how to pace this. I think they know how to pace this gorgeously.
Yeah, and like in the end, like she was able to get the money to like move out of California, but like there was a news bulletin on TV saying that he survived, but
yeah, there's a news bulletin that shows that no, he is still alive. It shows him being wheeled into an ambulance, and the news, it's talking about how yes, this blind man who fought bravely for his country, which is another great element in here because she broke into his house. She broke into the house of a blind veteran. She can't go to the police and go, hey, here's what happened, because there's no way this looks good.
But I also feel like it's like a message about how like the media sees things. It's like, oh, you don't know the truth. You just want to like.
I guess you could make some kind of a point about that.
I guess so, but yeah.
But yeah, it is definitely trying to say like there's no one she can turn to about this. But you said that you thought this was sequel bait. I do not. I think this was meant to be more of just a she will never escape thing. It's meant to be kind of like almost. I was gonna say Hitchcockian, but that's not really correct. But it's meant to be one of those endings where it's. Yeah, you're never really going to be free. You might have gotten out of your home. You might have gotten away from your family. You might have all this money right now. But you will always be looking around every corner for the rest of your life. It's supposed to be that kind of an ending that just haunts our character. And I love those kinds of endings. So I was all behind this ending. Yeah, really enjoyed this film. I think it was a great slasher film, paced incredibly well. Good motivations behind characters. Kind of weird seeing Alex being played by the kid who was in Goosebumps just like 2 years ago. That kid had a growth spurt in between these two films because they were like only a year apart in production. So yeah, really enjoyed this cast, really enjoyed the premise behind this. I think this film is great. But yeah, thank you very much. That is another part of the 31 Days of Thorgiween, another post-Shriek Out reaction. We have recorded like 5 of these in a row right now. I am getting exhausted, but we still got more to do, everybody. As I mentioned, we're going back and forth between good movies and bad movies for this first week. So this was a good one. Come back tomorrow for, you know, the rest. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and happy Halloween.
Bye. Bye.